Oh, God.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, today we have.
Who are you? Who are you?
Fucking are you?
I don't know you.
L'autunno is arrived, the winter is coming.
The winter is coming. Look.
Questo è il primo hangout è il gatto nero che si vede che è su di me.
Yes. It's the first autumn hangout officially. Everybody's cold.
For the next time, you will start to say, "Hey, I'm one of the coordinator of the civic design course." You know. You have to be proud. You know. Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Presentation.
Okay, I'm Francesco. It's 5 days that I don't do an hangout, so I'm very proud of it. No, today we have communication, general communication coordination. So we are working on. We have to build the agenda for today. So everybody who wants to talk about something, we can put it on the list. There were a couple of reflections wrote on the agenda, on the meeting minutes from last time.
Mm-hmm.
That was mainly a general reflection about the perspective of the work of this group and in general of communication groups for the next week that we could talk about through local camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would make a view of how are we with the call we made to everybody to participate in this process. We made it through Slack, we made it through the newsletter, so we could take a look. So if you agree, I would start with that to see how many people participate and stuff, and then talk about how to organize the work in these weeks through the local camp. So any other things about communication and stuff?
I think.
So, join backup.
About the external, for example, I think it's important to involve the magazine, because the magazine in this moment is very good, and the school is Pietro there too. Me, Nico is close, social et intéressé
I'm close.
Sì, je sais pas. I'm sorry. It's not very correct, my English. I think it's very important because it's like it's not non ha un peso, come si dice, nella comunicazione esterna e interna.
You think
it's not relevant?
It's not ready, man.
Okay, magazine.
But can't be ready if it's not. If people don't think it's important for communication external, and is even tests of internal communication for work together.
Mm.
It's very important.
Okay, so this is interesting because
For
that's
the connections, for all. It's really, I think, good.
In fact, we move external communication from this session. We decide to move that, but finally, nobody take care communication. There is nobody behind. Internal, yes, it's okay. Global communication is okay, but external, there is nobody. Moment.
I think for the test for the next course of the diseño civico italiano, español, francés.
Do you think the problem is that we don't have participation, or we don't? People is not thinking that doesn't think that it's important to have a magazine running.
I feel generally think is not important. The magazine is not really. Is not me think is not important. But generally, is not just for relax, for read issues and something news. It's really for knows the different team in the world, the work we do, the work we think to do, the debate, the analysis. I think it's very important. To be very important in for the next month, November, for the fest, for the course.
Yeah. It's interesting because
We have got a problem.
I think internal communication is very felt from the people, the issue. They feel the problem. But of course, because if not, we can't work. The problem of internal communication is that we have difficult processes exchanging communication between us, so we don't proceed very good in the work. I think the problem for magazine is that it's not seen as part of the work, because we are very focused on producing, but we are not focused in communicating what we produce.
Exactly.
And that's because I think actually maybe a problem could be that we are mostly people that is focused on producing the work. Not people is focused on communicating, or which work is communicate. Because I think the problem behind is that we are too much homogeneous. I don't know if it's the correct term in English, but we are, speaking frankly, we are too much architects.
Too much?
Architects. You only think on producing work stuff, and we don't understand the potential of the communication that is fundamental.
Maybe because communication,
Because we don't have the tools.
we can keep contact with other person are interested in the same project we are develop. Qualcosa che open more about it.
I don't know. Actually, it's a problem because
Even for example, I think is something people is not still habituated use the tools for internal communication, because there are some projects even I am looking for try ask more documentation or for write about are not come si dice partager, are not shared really in the community. I know other person make some project, but I don't know anything about the project.
Yeah, we should find a way to communicate to everybody that magazine is important also as an internal tool.
I think I write about today on 11 things that you do, canvas for
one thing we could do, we could start posting stuff about our work, for example. Make short post about the work we are doing as communication work group.
I see.
Maybe. So we start doing it. And
because in the magazine, for example, for all articles, when we put the CivicWise Italia, CivicWise España, or CivicWise France, when we want to make a project or develop a project, it's not there una explicación for who is working.
Lost you.
Italia for status, for not better, not better.
We lost your voice for a little.
Hello?
Si è bloccato.
No, ok, adesso ci siete. Ma un po' scatti, prova a spegnere la telecamera.
Provo anch'io a spegnere la telecamera perché
sì, spegniamo.
Fa veramente male. Non riesco neanche a trovare la telecamera.
Oh, io ho appena messo la fibra. La fibra ottica non può andarmi male, cacchio. Voglio che vada a 1000. Porca miseria, se no la fast di meno.
Ragazzi, io volevo aggiungere una cosa.
Dimmi.
Switching in English. About this, the importance of the magazine also for internal communication, I recognize let's say a curious fact. For example, right now there is Luis working at the Media Lab Prado in Madrid on the civic desk, so something like that. This small project, and I saw Marta sharing something on Instagram or Twitter, something like that, on her profile, for example. I thought that was a very nice, interesting project. There is almost, I think, nothing online. There is also a link to CivicWise, and it's a project very similar to what we did in my hometown with Domenico, and Marta, for example, didn't know. But the project is on the website of CivicWise. So, for example, we can think together a new post, a new article on the magazine that can talk about, I don't know, 2 projects together, for example.
Yes.
Let's say in a form of dialogue or interview, and so 2 or 3 people can talk and discuss maybe.
Yes.
So in this way we can know better each project of CivicWise, and also we have a new post or article for the magazine.
Yeah, definitely. I think what we can do is as always, we need a little to find a way to engage people to this attitude, to produce a short post about each big step you make in a project as a circle or as a CivicWise or a staff. Produce a post, small, fast, the picture of the event in Media Lab Prado could go in a short post, 5 lines. Like today we present the project of Luis in Media Lab Prado, 3 photos, and that's it. So what we could do is to start producing a short brief notes about this session, for example. And for example, also in the other session we make the session about the magazine and the session about internal communication. When we have something to communicate, not every week, but maybe every 15 days and stuff, produce a little post, a short post, and let it go. So we start moving the magazine. I think that when people see the magazine is moving, they just engage and they understand how it works also, without staying here and explaining to everybody the importance of magazine and stuff. But they get update and they understand how it works, you know. What do you guys think? It's we have to do it not heavy, because we can't do 100 works, 100 tasks each one, because we can't add other tasks to us, but has to be something like, for example, now as a general communication, we can produce a short post about the works of this month and this thing of the magazine, how we want to run it, how we want it to be, and general consideration about the protocols and stuff. It's something that already in the newsletter came out, but the newsletter, you know, it's not the magazine. The magazine is public totally. So in the magazine, we maybe don't put the links, but we explain what we are doing more. No? In the magazine, it's more to give fast info and fast coordinates to the people.
Monica is done. Yeah, waiting for them. I signed also. I'm writing in the agenda this this thing that we can create in a way conversation or interview very easy, also using social network.
Yeah, but Save, write it right in the minutes or in the conclusion, huh?
Ah, okay. For example, we as happening in the case of l'escrittorio de Luis. And they have something on Twitter, on social networks, so it's easy to collect all this information in a Storify, and we can publish a Storify on the post. So as a post on the magazine, it's also, so you have a different kind of post.
Yes.
I don't know, because maybe for someone it's useful to, I don't know, it's easier to realize a video in front of the computer and not to write I don't know, 20 lines post, for example. So it can be also a suggestion. And I can recommend also to Silvia from Bari to collect some material about Ex Post Moderno. We were trying to do that for On and Off magazine in a more let's say historic way, starting from all the process 2 or 3 years ago. but for sure we have something in Italian that can be shared as a small post to
Yeah,
based
I
on
think. Yeah, yes. I think maybe Monica, Nicolas, you were gone while. No, they are here or what?
Non abile del volume? No? Un momento, non riusciamo a sentire niente.
Okay, don't worry.
Ci sentite?
A te ti sento meglio che a Francesco, ma abbiamo dovuto...
Io ho un po' di problemi col microfono, raga. Mi spiace. C'è un microfono rotto, sto usando.
Comunque staccate tutte le webcam.
Sì.
Avete entrambi attivate. Vediamo se migliora. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, we were just, we're waiting for you, and I was just saying that we can have also some Storyfy embedded as a post in the magazine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if I notice the case of Luis, they have some social media shared, so it's easy to collect. I can, for example, I can open a Storyfy account of CivicWise, channel, so we can have everything there.
Yeah, the proposal is good. I think we now just to get to a conclusion. Maybe tonight you have the meeting for magazine, right, Monica?
What?
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
So maybe why don't you guys and also me and Nicola for the internal group, we can think this week about producing a post about the work we are doing.
Okay, very good idea.
So maybe we can produce a little post recollecting the info we already gave in the newsletter, for example, but just to have it in the magazine, and from the magazine group, you could try to write a post about how we want the magazine to be, because this thing of the importance of the magazine for also the internal communication, I think is the key to make people more to make people love more the magazine. Because up to now it's something that we will have a journalist or a communicator that will do the post. I don't have to do the post. It's seen like this, no?
Sí.
Because, for example, in the Italian course of civic design, we said that we will use the magazine to announce the guests we will have in the course, for example, and then we will use it also after a guest came and made his lesson. We will use it to produce a documentation of the session, talking about how the session went and what did we talk about and stuff. So, and this will be made by the students, by the participants of the course. So we will animate a lot the magazine as academy. That's the idea of the academy also, because the site, each website of the academy will be very static. While before there was a blog inside, the blog will be moved inside the magazine. So we have to make it very easy, flexible, and I think up to now we have seen a lot of long posts. We need to have other kinds of posts, short and very. Each step we make in a project produce a short post, a
Yes.
picture and 5 lines.
Yes, when I talk about, for example, the last meeting of the magazine, if people normally don't do it or don't have the time because the process of project start
Yeah,
very quickly. Because, for example, I asked to Luis, I don't know what project was. I asked info or him can write. Something else is impossible. I don't have the time for do it. I don't have the time even for share the project, in live, because no was there for the first moment, and now how to do it in a moment is impossible because it's.
yeah. It's also this is a thing that we can do too much, I think. But it's also how we think to the magazine, because if we see the magazine as a long a place where we have to put a lot of information and stuff, it's obviously an obstacle to start, no?
I think it's very good that the little articles, the post maximum
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
500 words.
yeah. There could be. I think like magazine group, you could start thinking about which kind of post we have,
It is
no? And like a long post of big events, telling a lot of things, like for example.
it's right that in the magazine I put a page avec this divisione little catalogo di tipologie of
Yeah, yeah. For example, a first post of magazine could be like this: "Hey guys, we thought about that we want to use the magazine in a more fresh way. We want to move it along."
like really like a newsletter in the way of CivicWise ways normally. Not only serious about the project, technical info.
Yes, yes. So,
Obligatory.
we need to move it. That's clear. And we need and the smartest thing we can do is to start moving it ourselves.
Perfect, d'accord.
That's the trick, I think.
Ouais, ouais.
Key.
Sì. Okay, very good, no, I'm d'accord.
Okay, so we try also tomorrow, me and Nicola, to write down a short post.
I think
That's
about
it.
to see for the magazine today. I commence to see. Sorry, I begin talking French. Yes.
Okay, now moving. If you're okay with this, we can
Yes. Okay.
talk a little about internal communication. But I just want to share one thing. We made this Slack storm about
The Slack storm.
about the how do you say it, the first needs. Okay, actually I received a lot of some negative feedbacks because it was like spamming.
Ah ouais?
And actually also we wrote it in the newsletter. We are a little sorry about that, but that was the only
Only way.
only idea we came out with. I know the fact is we can use this method, but just we have to be, and that was my fault because I did it. But we need to select the channels through we push something.
Okay.
Can be everywhere. That was perceived like spamming.
Oof.
But selecting the main channels and pushing through it, to
Okay.
be sure, because the aim is to reach more people we can. So, but a lot of people using more channels, so they had a lot of notification. Also, I said you are maybe in too much channels.
In fact, yes.
And that's another problem. But
In fact,
if you are in a lot of channels, I think that's a thing we will consider in the protocols. But also it's to be more to have a safe use of Slack. It shouldn't be in too much channels. To have a safer for us, no, a safer use for us. Not to be overwhelmed with a lot of notification, a lot of things to read. It's very easy. Don't be in many channels, or just enter and then go out when you don't need it. You know.
in fact.
But this is a thing we will write down in the guides and we will reflect on it.
If there is not something happens all days, doing all day, was something you, I think, have to do, because it's really about what we need.
It's the only way.
Yeah. It's not a problem in the action itself. It's a problem on about how we did it. It's not a problem about the purpose. The purpose was right. It's the way we did it. It was a little rude, but just for this, if you do it selecting channels, it's not a problem. But also, it doesn't have to be an habit, because if it becomes an habit, everybody starts doing it, and that is spamming.
Right.
So we need to be very, very conscious that as we are working on communication, we have some kind of power about the tools, that we need to use it very wisely, because if not, we start some habits in the community, and that, because that is what we want to do as communication. We want to start good habits. But also, we can start bad habits. We have to be conscious of it.
Yes.
And about the document, I think I see people is starting to write it down. So
everything disappeared, no?
Yeah, there are comments coming up. So I think it's good, and
We can't see where nothing.
Attends, I've got perhaps a problem.
what are you in the doc? Wait, I share the doc.
I've got it. Okay.
See, done.
I share it in the meeting minutes.
Okay, cool. José Miguel Gómez.
Same.
So, but this is, I think we need to keep going
the list,
and,
no?
with the newsletter. Just always have it in there, and because of course a lot of people don't have the time this week and stuff. Well, we need to remember this, because this doc will be useful not only now but also in local camp. So,
See, thank you. Something disappeared.
Sorry? No, I think Margica's right.
Sorry.
Right. Oh, no. Ouais.
Okay, so we can. That was the one thing I wanted to share with all of you about the internal.
Right.
And we can talk like another 15, 20 minutes about general reflection of through local camp.
Okay.
Yes.
What I wrote in the reflection here is now we understood that local camp is it's not a goal, but it's where we will close the work we are doing now.
In fact.
So we don't have to get there with the protocols done, but maybe with prototypes. And I think that if we get there with a lot of information recollected, there we will have the work very very fast will be processed.
Okay.
So I think now it's also less pressure on this. There is also less pressure on these teamworks because we don't have to produce something very tangible and very concrete, but we need more to start the machine, start moving the reflection and recollect info, recollect opinion, recollect tools, and start building prototype. So it's more less stressless. I think we have a little stress less.
Stressless.
Yeah. That when you have a goal to reach, we need it to done for the 3rd of November. It's stressing. Now it's less, no? So what I think is that our works as a magazine, as internal, as external group, is two lines, divided in 2 lines. One, to keep focusing the problems and the issues, so recognize exactly which are the problem, like we did this morning. The problem is that magazine is not perceived as an important tool, but it is a tool important for external and also for internal. So this is what we need to do, focusing on the problems. And from the other side, to start experimenting solutions that then we have 4 weeks to experiment this, and we can get there with some solution experimented and some results. Say, oh, we tried to do this in 4 weeks and it worked, or it didn't work. So when we get to local camp, we have this work done, to a base to understand, to work there, everybody. And we know that when we are all together, we work at 5 times the speed we work separately.
See, you're right.
I'm agree. Yeah.
And another thing that we can do, well, I write down these things if you want. Well, actually, it's in the reflection. I can do copy paste.
Yeah.
Do copy paste. So it's, So I think these are I mean the attitude we do need in the teamworks. Focus problem and prototype a solution. And another thing I didn't write it here is to produce documentation of the experimentation.
Well,
I mean, to be very focused in collecting the meeting minutes, produce a documentation that is usable, you know?
Sì, infatti.
This is important.
D'accord.
But we can put it in the conclusion, this. No?
The
Sì, I
conclusion
think
we made.
yes.
Ouais.
Yeah, it's better. Put it here in the conclusion. Okay. And another thing I was thinking about is that in the next meetings and also this for each work group, we could we need to start running the work tables, the work group of local camp. I mean, like internal group teamwork. We need to focus in what do we want to talk about and work in local camp.
Sì.
You know, we need to start this. I know maybe it's early because we didn't start collective work on it in general with the local camp, but from this week we will start because last week we organized the Thursday session, like half an hour of updates and then 1 hour to work on local camp. And this week we start with this format. So it's a work that we need to focus on and to start making a list of the thing that we think need to be worked or need to be developed in local camp.
Okay.
It's just to have it in mind when we work on it, not only to prepare the preliminary phase, but also to start setting up tables.
Good idea. All right.
It's fundamental. Okay. Better change the sound, see?
Huh?
Understand? I can change the interior. People looking. Who asked if it around?
For example, one thing we can think is we need um, a bigger reflection in general about communication,
Okay.
or we need to start working immediately separately. You know, like internal, external, magazine
Right.
and stuff. No, we need to work on this. Which table and what they will talk about.
Yes, yes, it's important.
It's not something that we do now, but we need to start thinking about it, and then we produce the program of local camp with everybody, because I think it's the work that everyone has to do in these weeks, you know, like Rural Lab, Insu Lab, needs to understand how do you want to build a table and what do you want to talk about. But communication is the focus of this local camp. So it will be at least, I think, not almost every day, a table about communication in local camp. I'm starting to figure out this. I don't know, maybe not of different things, but would be very important.
Mm.
So we can start thinking about it separately, like the magazine, like the internal and stuff. And then when we meet on Monday, we start to understand how to organize them, no?
Okay, good idea.
Prioritize, priorities,
Good idea.
stuff, no?
Ah, shit.
One thing also is not, it's a pity that external group is only focused on magazine.
Well, ouais, it's a problem.
Because we had this proposal of Mario of how to build a guide about Twitter, Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
That should be work also. We can take it in, we can remember it. You know, we can put it on the issues to talk about in local camp, for example. Also, if not developed now, but we should remember about that, because external is not only magazine. Magazine, as we saw, it's important also for internal. It's a bridge, I think. You know.
See, it's a bridge.
Sì,
From
it's
the
a bridge.
beginning, we say that it's a bridge.
It's that what I think.
From the beginning, we said that communication internal and external were linked. So
yeah, the magazine is a link important, but well, we need to build up a team that goes more. It goes more. It goes farther than only the magazine.
see,
The external team, it's farther than only the magazine. But we also have to understand not everybody can push everything.
that's a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this last thing about the Storyfy 7 that you put on the agenda.
And I found just a little issue because I don't know which kind of email to use. I have just the Italian account email. I mean, it can work because, of course, it's just to.
We have. I have an account.
To sign up.
CivicWise platform, guys. That is civicwise@gmail.com.
Okay, let me sign.
But actually, I don't remember the password.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, I think it's always the same. So.
It's always the same, I think.
So it's CivicWise platform.
At gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Password maybe the same. Okay.
If you remember that the password, I write it in the chat.
I have it. That password. I try to go into the email, and let's see if it works.
Let's try.
CivicWise platform.
Works.
No, CivicWise platform.gmail.com.
No. CivicWise at gmail.com.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Okay, while Savario does this,
Yeah, do some other stuff.
I put on the task
Yeah,
that each teamwork start produce a post on the magazine about the work he's doing. Okay.
Okay.
So the magazine teamwork produce a post. Internal communication will produce a post, and then maybe we can see if we can make a post about general communication.
See, I think so.
Maybe we can.
This week normally will be there a post from Artemi about Canarias, etc. Is ready from the week passé. I don't know in English, sorry. For something technical is this weekend. Okay, will be there in the magazine.
Okay. I have a proposal, Nico, for you, or in general for the internal group. What do you think if we produce a post about not only the work of the internal, but more wider about the work of the communication?
I think it's very important.
In general, because it's an issue of internal, to start communicating what is done more than the newsletter. So maybe tomorrow we can center the meeting on this.
It's very
producing a post about telling what is going on with communication, and
it's a very good idea.
Then a magazine can make a post very focused on how we want the magazine to be.
Perfect.
No, so it will be very focused without intro, because there is the general post.
I started something. I start to write something in Italian. I think I can finish aujourd'hui today for show. Have the opinion.
Yeah, but the post can be both language, no? Many languages.
I see many languages. I start in Italian at this moment because I write in Italian at this moment, but I can translate in Spanish, in English, avec Nico if it's work. If it's okay. Hola.
Yeah, okay.
We lost everything.
But today is the communication, the internet.
Guys,
yes.
You know, the funny thing is that I already opened a Storyfy account of CivicWise. At the very beginning, I had just one story there, probably during the London time. So we already have it, and so I'm just trying to log in.
Don't listen, Leon. Well, I don't understand, Mario. Sorry, we lost totally your.
How can I watch a story on Storyfy? I put on Google Storyfy.
Just go on. I put the link on in the doc. It's storyfy.com/CivicWise, but the email is not correct to log in. probably is with the Italian account. Let me check.
Because I see this one is by Saverio Massaro.
I don't know what is that.
This
Sorry if I come CivicWise.
Wednesday, 4th March, we launch our kickoff event in London.
I need to one story.
No.
Go.
It's by CivicWise.
Oh.
Cough.
The kickoff in London.
You find it, Francesco?
No.
Is the link is
Okay, but I copy the link in the meeting notes.
Yeah, I try to have back the login datas.
Password. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I look in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the proposal, but my concern is that we disperse too much. We need to be focused on this.
I think is something we can make about the storytelling, Storyfy in the magazine.
Yeah. No, but only because I don't know this tool. Okay, I don't know.
No, it's simple. It's simple. It's just a collector of all the things that are shared on social network or on simply on Google on web. So you need just a link to just drag and drop things.
Okay.
So for example, if you I don't know, if you during the local camp or whatever event you use a lot Twitter live. At the end, instead of writing a sort of report or an article, just collect everything, drag and drop also some pictures, and you have a story.
Okay.
So it depends. It's a flexible tool, so we just have it. And
I know the tools from Paris. People start to use it. Was a proposal in the course. You remember?
Yes, yeah.
But about the new tools, I don't know if it's really the moment to propose of community, because even for the little, a really good, I think, protocol of start about Slack, the link about this course is basic one, is easy to do. A lot of people not only the news CivicWise is in Paris, here in Paris, but even the normal one. I take, for example, the example of Luis, because it's the last case I can look in. Normally, people don't use Slack for put the links of the project, or don't use this course for make a debate, for have opinions, for share. And the conclusion is normally people say, oh, normally I don't do it, I don't use it, like is, I don't know, like is a choice. But finally, all community can't look in that, work on it, publicity that, or promote that. I see in Paris are there person que say, no, I work all day, I don't open Slack. Because I can't open Slack for looking. It's difficult. I don't know in this moment I had to really to say of the people, because yesterday we talked about and we will talk about in the next Wednesday, when is there the meeting about Paris Circle. Because it is really important. We can't use the communication we want, or somebody is the telephone call, other is the SMS person. The people don't know what happens really. How to ask other people is really slowly, and we lost time, and is a lot of work more. I think people want to work with CivicWise, or love the platform of CivicWise, is have to use the basic one tools, and it's very difficult. Just the basic one is very difficult.
Yes. Now, if you see it as a smart tool, you just integrate it and.
Yeah. Well, I think that I don't know, in this case, it's just another. We are not developing a strategy with Storify. It's not the only tool, of course, but can help sometimes people to develop some content, or it's a faster way to produce a report and be
I love
have a storytelling mood that can, in a way, can help someone, but some others prefer to write an essay in a magazine, or I don't know. So it's just
No, I think it's good. As I understood, it's good for connection.
propose that, like we talk in the magazine, we can use the tool we want for participate in the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
People love write, people love make a video with the phone, and people love make a drawing or photographies can participate in the way prefer.
Okay. No, I don't know. What can we say in the conclusion? We start to move the Storify and we integrate it in the tools of the magazine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, I think it's okay. For the magazine, I think it's okay.
Right. So integrate.
Well,
Okay,
I cannot enter anymore.
You research for the past.
No, because I don't know which kind of account I used that time. We don't have, for example, civicwise.gmail.com. It doesn't exist.
At the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's done with another mail.
I'm trying with via Twitter, but it's the Italian account. No, it makes me create another account.
No, because I think we can close and talk about this
in a second time.
Yeah, not in live, so we don't bother. If we have done with, I think we've done with the schedule. I mean, we talked. Yeah. We had a good session today. So as recapitulating the conclusion, we saw the magazine is very important also for the internal communication, and we could start producing posts about our group as a work group of communication. So for the next week, for this week is to produce each teamwork. We produce a post, and we will have internal teamwork that we produce a general post about the work we've been doing since the beginning of this circle. And then the external teamwork will produce a post about how we want the magazine to be used. I put also these things, how we want it to be and how we want it to be used, just to share the conclusion you had until now.
Okay.
And then we saw that in these weeks before the camp, our lines of work, the main topics will be focusing on the problem and the issues of each teamwork, prototype and experiment solution that we will later discuss in local camp, and produce documentation of our work and the results to be used in local camp. So, guys, I'll see you next Monday, 17th,
Okay.
and have a good week and good work to everybody.
Lot of work.
Um, and nothing. See you next week, and we had a very nice meeting today.
Okay, guys.
We try.
Okay.